Good morning, it's Dr. Ship on from drwhynot.com. It's right before dawn, obviously, here on the lake. There's some very noisy geese over there that are a little upset with the fact that I just interrupted their serenity. And speaking of interrupting serenity, today we are going to talk about meetings and why I hate them. Now, I am not talking about one-on-one consultations with people or even group meetings where everyone has something to say of value. I'm talking about the kinds of meetings that people have on a daily or weekly or bi-weekly or even monthly basis that are just established as a way of connecting, as a way of sharing information, as a way of getting everybody to hear something in the same room. I have several reasons why these meetings are problematic, and I'm going to share them with you. The number one reason there's some swans over there. The number one reason to avoid meetings is because they're a huge time waster. Huge. Most meetings, as several internet memes point out, could probably be an email. You're just telling people what they ought to know. And there's any number of mechanisms to find out whether or not they know what you're talking about without seeing them in person. You can have your direct reports read something and then write you back a summary of what they read. Just a couple sentences saying, I read this, I understand that we will be doing blah, blah, blah. And that's it. A meeting, problem solved. You didn't have to have a meeting for that. The number two reason not to have meetings is that is the time that you could be spending, because you know you're going to spend at least a half hour at that meeting, and that is the time that you could be spending getting work done and having your staff get work done. The number three reason not to have meetings, very practical, disease vector. There is no reason to gather 5, 10, 20, 30, 50, 75 or more people in a room, each one of them functioning as little disease bags, bringing in all the ailments that their children or the hospital that they visited last night or the bar that they were in, all of these various places that have germs. There's no reason to get all those people into a room and create a situation where they're passing along serious, possibly serious, illnesses to each other. And, you might think, oh, well, what's the big deal? It's just a common cold. Well, actually, the common cold is a big deal. Getting a cold can be a big deal for somebody who maybe has a sick relative at home, or for somebody who's about to have a newborn in the same place. Little, passings along of common illnesses can cause incredible complications. Why take the risk? Don't have the meeting to create the opportunity to get sick. Come on, people. Um, Finally, the last reason why meetings are completely terrible, and I really believe this, is that usually they are held with a bunch of people sitting on their asses in a room. That position of sitting down is the least functional position for thinking. In fact, in psychotherapy and coaching and consultations, very often what I have people do is get up and move around, because it's that getting up and moving around, that conveying, that essentially, in order to have a meaningful process, whether it's an emotional process or cognitive process, you actually have to move your body. And when you get a bunch of people sitting in a meeting, and worse, come on, you know what we all do? Get the coffee, get the bagels, that kind of thing. And they're actually stuffing themselves, they're carbo loading, and they're sitting and dying in the meeting. What is happening is the brain is turning off. If you must have a meeting, what you want to consider is, would you pay personally? Would you pay to have that person's presence in the room with you for something super important? And that is the only way that I have a meeting in my practice. I pay my staff to come to meetings. And what I do is I say to them, look, there's something that I want to go over with you. It's only going to take an hour of your time. And usually it's because I have to see you in person in order to convey it. Meetings are great when you're introducing people to people. Meetings are great when you are going to convey a new skill set, when you're going to teach somebody something new and you want to see their faces and you want to see their minds and their hearts engaged so that you know that they got it. Beyond that, don't have the meeting. There's no reason to have the meeting unless you would sit with that person one-on-one to learn something from them, or to see them receive something, or to introduce somebody new to them. Don't have the meeting. There's no reason to have the meeting. You could accomplish this information exchange any number of ways and even check to see whether that information has been conveyed. So, stay away from your disease vectors, get people up off their asses. Don't have the meeting. Enjoy your life. Be more productive. Have an incredible day. God bless. Talk to you soon.